Johnson, and this is Joke for Healing. Okay? And today's topic is declutter tips for survivors and guests with Michelle P. Passoff. She will introduce herself in a moment. I had a stroke. That's why I'm talking this way. I am a stroke survivor. Today's topic again, for those who don't know, is decluttering for stroke survivors. And I would love to introduce my new friend, Michelle Passoff.
Thank you so much for having me, Eva. And
You're welcome.
be a friend. I like that.
Okay, can you, Michelle, tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am a New Yorker by heart, and for 30 years I lived in what I call the clutter capital of the world. And that was not because people had a problem or something was wrong with them. It was because they lived in small spaces and had big interests. So, along with all those big interests came stuff. And along with all those small spaces came stuff. And I was working in public relations. I was a media specialist for public relations firms on behalf of large global companies, mostly consumer products. And at some point, after about 15 years, I was thinking I might make a change, but I didn't know to what. And then through a series of circumstances, I had a light bulb go off in my head, and it was called Lighten Up, Free Yourself from Clutter, Create the Space for Miracles while you free yourself from too much stuff. And I started hanging signs up and down Broadway on bus stops with that message on it, and people started calling me. But not everybody who called me to do consulting hired me. So I also created a class. And I had a class and I had consulting. And at one of my classes, there was a woman who called me after one of my classes the next morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I said, why couldn't you call at 9? But then she told me she was a reporter for the New York Times. So I said, well, that's okay. You can call me anytime you want. And she wrote an article about what I was doing with clutter, which unbelievably enough was not only about being neat and tidy. You do get neat and tidy by letting go of what you don't want and need and use and love. You do get neater and tidier. But the premise of the work that I was doing was not so much focused on being neat and tidy, it was focused on the road ahead. What are the goals that you have, and to be unobstructed in your path to achieving them.
Okay, I have several questions for you. So
Well, go
don't,
ahead.
you
I'm
guys don't go away. Number one, before we dive into more about you and how to declutter, what's the benefit of a stroke victim? This is stroke for healing. So what is the benefit for stroke healing? Who are the healing process? Can you share with us your cluttering journey? You have your moment, but continue.
Yes. So if you have nothing in the way of moving ahead, that's a decluttering process. But how is it healing? The very reason that I got into this in the first place was I found my father died in 1991, and the pain was so deep and so far reaching that somehow I started baking pies. I never had baked a pie in my life, but I found that it was healing to get my hands grounded in stuff. And I started baking pies. And then oddly, a friend of mine was going to be thrown out of her New York apartment because she had so much clutter. It was a health risk. And she invited friends over to help her clean it up so she could not be evicted from her apartment. And a light bulb went off between the pies that I was baking and getting my hands in earthly stuff, and my friend needing to recover. I found I had a whole body of knowledge about clutter as a path of healing. Not only healing for myself, but as I started to consult and work with people, I found that letting go of what you don't want and need and use and love was healing for other people. They either healed from the loss of somebody like I did, or they wanted to heal from breaking up in a relationship, or they wanted to reach a goal that they were having difficulty with. And the whole process of working with people on clutter was a healing process. So in that way, I wasn't just getting people neat and tidy. I was helping them to heal.
Can you explain the difference between organizing and decluttering?
Yes. There's a 3-step process that I take people through when I work with them. And first is decluttering. Decluttering is going into your closet, taking a look at what you wear, what you don't wear, what fits, what doesn't fit, what's in style, what's not in style, what's appropriate for the stage of life you're at. Sometimes if you retired, you're not wearing the same clothes as when you worked. So when you walk into your closet, you go to get dressed, and you don't first have to weed through a whole lot of stuff. And what's especially good for people who have had strokes is to just have simplicity, to be able to get in, to get out, to get dressed, and not to have to, um, pour through the last 16 years of your wardrobes in order to get dressed. You want to simplify it. So whether you've had a stroke or you haven't had a stroke, um, it's healing to be able to get in and out of your closet with ease, to go to your kitchen cabinet and get in and out the pots you need, the dishes you need, only what you need and want. This is not minimalism, this is effectiveness. It's without fuss, without a headache first. That it If you're going to have to worry about things, it's not going to be your stuff. Be able
Oh,
to get in and out of your garage when you get out of your car, when you get out of the car and into maybe a wheelchair, that you don't have obstructions in the way of entering. So um, that is a decluttering process, getting everything out of the way. Getting things organized is then saying, okay, I have in my closet only what I want and need and wear, but my pants are mixed in with my shirts, or mixed in with my um, uh, dresses. So the decluttering, the organizing process is then to put like kind things together: shirts with shirts, pants with pants, dresses with dresses, so that it's another step of simplification. Then you have beautification. Then you say, okay, what kind of hangers am I going to use? And I recommend people use 3 kinds of hangers. They use a plain, it doesn't have to be fancy or expensive, a plain white plastic hanger to hang your shirts, a plain clear plastic clip hanger for your skirts, and lastly, if there's a pant hanger for over which you drape your pants, that is a beautification project process. So it's declutter, organize, beautify.
uh, that's very good to know because since I had a stroke, it's harder for me to find things in my closet. I have organized, but I could have used you. That's very good to know. Now, my next question is, can you give an example of the miracles that can be created by decluttering?
Yes, I always say create the space for miracles, when you free yourself from your clutter. And it takes somebody to suspend their disbelief that when you get rid of what you don't want and need and use and love, and you only have what you need in order to accomplish the goals that you have. Um, the point is that you want to really focus on your goals. So what if your goal is, today I'm going to have more strength? or today I'm going to do better than I did yesterday. Think of what I always say, what are you making room for? So have goals in mind. And if you have thoughts like, I'll never be able to do this, or I'll never be able to do that, that in and of itself is your first barrier. It's your first piece of clutter. you know Dump it. That's not a belief that you have that's going to help you achieve that goal for the day. So that belief is clutter. So change that belief up for something that's more positive, something that I'm building strength every day. I'm getting past my barriers, and that'll help take you get you started in the right direction.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk. You asked about miracles. Then you have to suspend your disbelief that if you're cleaning a closet, is that going to build your strength? Is that going to help you get your speech back? Is that going to help you walk better? Is that going to help you recover in any way? Suspend your disbelief that that will happen, and watch and see and notice when you do it what happens. Like, for example, I had a client, she wanted to meet the love of her life. And I said, okay, well, we're going to keep that in mind while we clean the closet. And sure enough, in the process of cleaning the closet, she got an invitation to do a sabbatical at a school in Australia. She was living in New York at the time. She went to Australia and she met her husband. Now, can I directly relate that she was cleaning her closet and she got this invitation to go to Australia? No, you can't draw a direct line between those, except I invite people to suspend their disbelief that into the empty space you create by cleaning your clutter, you'll get exactly what you want, what you need, and exactly the right moment that you need it. And
What,
miracles happen. And just try it. And then you're going to be looking for clutter. You're going to say, what can I clean today to have a miracle?
one thing that uh, we tell people that you have to think differently. Think differently. That's what you're saying. Is
Yes.
you have to think differently. The next question is, uh, what areas of your home do you recommend decluttering and why?
Well, I'd say go 100.
Can you repeat my question? Because
Yes, you said
some people may not understand.
what areas of your home do you recommend starting at and why? Or to clean and why? I say go 100%. First of all, let go of the belief that there's an end to clutter. There is no end to clutter. You're human, you're going to have stuff. So forget the notion that you're ever going to have no clutter. Clutter comes, clutter goes. It's kind of an ebb and flow of stuff. But pick a place to start. Any start. Start directly related to the goal that you have, or start in a place where it's the most messy with the goal in mind. And then suspend your disbelief of the miracles you're going to get and start. And then keep going 100 until you go through your home from top to bottom 100%. So you're going to be patient. And here's the thing that's important for people who are older, or had a stroke, or have any reason why they can't do this themselves. You don't have to do it yourself. You can hire a professional. You can ask your kids. You can get your best friends to help you. So get help. You don't have to do this on your own. So that's not a good excuse. Is that I can't do it. You can get help. There's plenty of people willing and eager to help you. And you could start anywhere. The idea is to go 100% through your home from top to bottom and let go, keep letting go, keep letting go, keep letting go, but keep noticing what happens parallel in your life as you do that. I'll tell you a short story. The other day, I said to my husband, "We have a lot of artwork because we're painters and a photographer and a sculptor between us." And I said, "We have to start selling some of this art." So we consigned some to a vintage furniture store, and then we signed a few more pieces to another store, and we still had more artwork. And we had to take an Uber to a destination the other day, and we get in the cab, and the cab driver says, "My friend, he's opening up over there an art gallery." What? Here we have this intention to be selling this art. We never take an Uber. We walk into the Uber, and not only is the guy opening an art gallery, we had a meeting with him, and he happened to be French. And my husband's first language is French. He's Belgian. And there was this synergy between us that was really a miracle. And that came out of an intention we had to let go of what we don't want, need, and use anymore, to sell the artwork. And we started that process. And in the space of that, exactly what we wanted, when we wanted it, showed up in our lives. So pay attention, get started, get help to do it, and watch and see. You'll be looking for clutter because you want the benefits that come out of it.
That sounds wonderful. I say I have to have you come up and help people that have lots of clutter. I have friends that if you look at them, you would never think of the word decluttering or stroke survivor, but they need to declutter because you never know. You just never know.
I wanted to tell you, Eva, also is that people can tune in to my podcast, which is called Decluttering 55 Plus. What we've been talking about up until now is conventional clutter, like papers, clothes, and other stuff. Now, what I'm specializing in is decluttering for people as they age. And as you age, there's things in front of you that are confounding or confronting, like writing your will, planning your funeral arrangements, writing your memoir, digital decluttering, resetting your health and fitness regimens so that it's makes you stronger and more invigorated as the years go by. Those are areas that can be baffling or confronting. And what I address in my book and in my podcast is to learn what you need to about those areas that are baffling you, and to confront the areas that are making you say, you know what, I'll do this another day or never, and do those things so that you're invigorated, not so that you're going to roll over and die and that's the end of your days, but it actually makes you live longer. And those areas are, your health and fitness and the digital, and deciding where you're going to live next, what you're going to do in your life next, and getting your financial house in order. So if my podcast is Decluttering 55 Plus with Michelle Passoff, and it's on YouTube and other, podcasts, wherever you get your podcast platforms. And, listen in to the authors and experts and authorities and geeks who can answer the questions that you have and give information and resources that will help you get things done. But whether you're cleaning conventional clutter or you're cleaning next level clutter, you have to take initiative.
Okay.
You have to put your head in the right place. I'm going to get it done. Then you have to get all the resources that are available to you to help you do that, to get your questions answered and get an action and be complete, so that you leave a life, not a mess.
Okay. I want to say thank you so much, Michelle. We appreciate you. One of the questions that I have, how can people get in touch with you?
They can go to www.decluttering55plus.com. That's decluttering55plus.com, and click on the Let's Connect page and send me your questions, send me your challenges, let me know your triumphs, and let's build the community so that we can help each other live a great life and leave a legacy, not a mess, and make room for what matters.
Amen. That's good. Thank you so much, Phil. We appreciate you and the time you spent with us today. And thank you for joining our conversation. For those of you who have visited us, whether you are a OG, which means that you have been here before, or you are a newbie, this is your first time. Thank you for being here. And don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Eva with from Stroke for Healing. Stroke for Healing. You can find us at no cost for you on YouTube. Make sure you use the @ and Stroke for Healing. And in the comments, I will give a link for Miss Michelle, and for our business. And remember, God bless you and be a blessing to someone else. And bye for now. Bye bye. I love you.
Thank you.
Okay. Said these two.
Okay, let me make sure it's recorded.
Rachel. Okay. Rachel.
It's still recording.
The recording.
Stop.
Leave.
No, stop.
Okay. I will go home.